So a lot of this stuff, for a lot of people, they keep talking about religion and stuff, and it is definitely like the stuff I say is getting categorized by some people as just, I don't know, it's way too fringe, it's way too out there. We're trying to turn people against the Almighty and Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ Superstar. That, we're trying to turn people away from the truth and all that stuff, that we're part of the problem. And if that's how you see things, like everybody's going to see stuff at the level that they need to see stuff, to their level of understanding. And so if you are at that level of understanding that there's something outside of you that has control over you, that is judging you all the time, that is testing you all the time, then that is what you need to experience life. But not everybody understands or experiences life in that way. Maybe I'm the newer soul, but as far as I'm concerned, that I am a part of God. I have God inside of me, and I am just a soul who is here that has created my own consciousness to be able to come in and experience life so that I can grow as a consciousness and expand myself. And and if that means you just keep expanding and expanding and expanding till you're a creator of universes too, then, I don't know all of every single thing about this stuff. I mean, that to me is what makes more sense, is just this ever expanding creation of, universe of experience and possibilities. And, the more that you become in touch with this outside side of life, the thing that's out beyond what you can see and hear, that you have to feel and you have to experience through consciousness, that to me is what's real. I can go into a dream and be in another place. I can be in two places at once. I can, like, all of that stuff. This isn't like somebody told me some stuff and I just was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna say that then. No, I've studied this stuff for a long time. There's a lot of different information out there that is beyond religion. I look at religion as part of the controlling manipulation of the people behind the curtain. They are the ones who have been doing this since the beginning. They have manipulated the Bible to say what they wanted to say, and they've used it to control and use fear. So right there, you know that there is some manipulation going on, because I don't know how anybody can think that there would be a God that you needed to fear. That doesn't make any sense. So you need to fear God and you need to fear the devil, but then why? Why do you pick one as better than the other? It doesn't make any sense, because one says that you can kiss his feet for eternity and sing to him, and the other one says, or you can do devil things and burn in hell forever, and consider your crimes. Well, what was my crime? I stole some toilet paper one time, so for eternity I've got to sit down there and contemplate stealing toilet paper and having a dirty ass. Like, what the fuck? It just doesn't make sense to me. It does not. It doesn't make any sense to me. So that doesn't mean I'm a devil worshiper or an antichrist or somebody who's trying to tell something that's wrong or misinform people about God. I see God on a different level. I see God beyond that God, and I don't see this creation of God and devil as being two separate things. It's like this. It's like two. It's like two sides of the coin. It's the same coin. You've got two sides, but really it's the same. And I think that whole concept is to help people to be able to understand how the difference in good and bad and evil and stuff like that. And then once you start seeing, like, bad stuff has to happen so good stuff can happen. And good stuff good stuff is the counterbalance of the bad stuff. And it's the bad stuff is what teaches us. It's what gives us more information. It's what helps us to grow through experience. And so you have to have negative things happen so that you can learn. Like you have to, it's something with life, you've got to see it as it's like a current. It's just, it's changing, but it's going to be on, it's going to have ups and it's going to have downs. It's going to have times that are hard, and those times are the times that you get to grow. And, that stuff makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that you are born multiple times. It's not a one-time thing. I have memories. I have things inside of me that I would have no reason to have inside of me other than the fact I've lived lives that I learned those things. There would be no reason for me, like as a little kid, to be, eating meat, and I couldn't quit thinking about that it was flesh, and I would get really sick and have to spit it out. Like nobody else was doing it at the table. So what in me was making me be different? What in me, like when everybody else started drinking coffee and I drank tea? I've had so many people trying to push me into drinking coffee. Oh, you got to taste this one, you got to taste this one. I did have a couple one time of, I think what they were called mochas or something. It was like hot chocolate coffee. And it tasted really good. And I drank 2 of them and I got so sick. There's just something in coffee that makes me sick. But like there's certain things in us that make us unique or make us different. Like why wouldn't we all be the same? We're just born? Why wouldn't we all be the same? It wouldn't all just be based on family. If you're the only person in your whole family that is a certain way, then what's the explanation of that? So, there's so many people who study about reincarnation, so many doctors and stuff that give it legitimate studies. And there's, other cultures that 100% believe reincarnation. It's strange that it's such a crazy, antichrist concept in America. I don't understand it. And when you go and you look up, like this one doctor who, when little kids are born and they start talking about their other families, their other mom and dad, or their wife, or their kids and stuff like that, like people go in and say, like, where are they getting this information? Or talking about their death and what happened and how horrible it was. There's doctors out there who are studying that, and they go in and they do research on the stuff they're saying. And the research shows that they are telling accurate information, that some of these kids can say what their names were and when they died, how they died, all of that stuff. So what's the explanation for that? I mean, it's the most simplest one is there's reincarnation, and your soul carries memories. And your soul, when it's born, there is a veil so that you're not experience all of the universe at one time, so that you can be focused on your experience so that it becomes more real. But there's so much more stuff that's going on. Your soul is like way busier than this life. And this life is very minuscule in the whole scheme of things. And people get so caught up in, what goes on in this life. Just like when I get caught up in like the thought of losing Stella, like I know that there is no death. I know that it is, this is an experience, and the stuff about consciousness. And, I don't know why I get so caught up and bawling my head off and stuff like that. It's something that I need to work on more, of being able to accept different souls, of, coming and doing what they were going to do and leaving. And, we all have to learn to accept that, to accept this transition. And, I've got freaking Lucy's ashes sitting on my thing. And I know that is, a hold to another soul, like I'm holding a part of her here, not because of her ashes being here. It's what I've put into those ashes, which, That's another thing, is people just don't understand the energy that they're giving something, just like a Ouija board or a voodoo doll or any of the things. The Bible, people put the energy into it. They put that energy. That's just a book. It doesn't mean anything, but people will die over it. People will kill over it. People will live their lives by every fucking word of it. People will spend years studying it over and over and over and over and over. It is, and to me, it's all of that stuff. The Bible to me is a false idol. The Bible and religion is a false idol. It is getting you to worship something that isn't God, isn't self. It's getting you to go and put your faith in something beyond self or outside of self. And to me, you should be trusting your connection to God, source, as your connection to, what's out there. And so anyways, to me, it is that you are born over and over and over again. That is what gives us our uniqueness. That's what gives us our drive. And that's what gives us these different people that we meet, that we just know that we know them from somewhere else. All those things, to me, you just have to look at it to get in your idea of this other world beyond this world. But everything is so caught up in this world, and and the only way to leave this world is to go into this fight with these two guys, and I don't know. But anyways, my whole thing is about consciousness. It's about understanding energy, about understanding what you're putting out, to be aware, because a lot of people are putting out a certain energy that is counterproductive for what they want, and they don't realize that they are the ones who are creating what they don't want. So understanding about energy, understanding about your real connection to God comes from within. Understand, not a church, not another person, just you. It's like a two-way street. And then understanding that there's a whole world outside of you, all around you. Understanding you're the judge of yourself. There's not going to be somebody out there to judge you, but you're going to look at things a lot different when you're outside of this life. You're going to see things very different. So you can think like, oh, I can get away with this. So who cares if I do that? Oh, she was a bitch. Oh, God, he's a dick. Whatever. I can do whatever I want and get away with it. You're not going to feel that way when you get out of your body. You're caught up with emotions. You're caught up with hormones or whatever. And that is an important feature of being able to step back, regroup, do some breathing techniques, care for yourself, and let go of shit. There's so much stuff that doesn't matter. You get caught up in that anger and stuff like that. That's what he showed all the time on Twilight Zone, just how people can they just become crazy with misinformation and anger. And so, I just say the most important thing that to be doing through all of this stuff going on is to working on yourself. And part of your connection to God will tell you that you are on loan of this vehicle here. You need to take care of it. You need to care for it and love it and stuff like that. That it's not you. This isn't, Kelly may be inside of here, but she may be called Kelly in this body, but that's not who I am outside of here. And so I need to care for this vehicle. I need to take care of it. And there's just so many people who just don't at all. As a matter of fact, they want to make that into something bad, something unhealthy, toxic. That for us to have, a man and a woman, that's toxic. I don't understand men on TikTok with beards that look like big burly lumberjacks that talk with a girl voice, that get offended if a worker calls them him or he or sir. It's like, or a man that goes in with long hair and a girl's clothes but fully still looks like a man, and go in and get mad because somebody called him sir. It's like, if you want to be called ma'am, you might want to go in and look like a ma'am. I mean, you may keep wanting to change it, make us all not be able to trust our eyes and get everything confused and shame us and call it toxic. But, could I go in and then, somebody calls me ma'am, and I'm like, you're really assuming there, son. You're really assuming. How do you know I don't have a penis? You don't know that. It's like, why what has gotten people to this point, of being this ludicrous? It is just as outrageous. And to understand where it all leads, it leads into a species that is created in a lab, no procreation. They don't, transitioning one direction, transitioning back. Like, if they get everybody all confused and you can't say this, and boys need to wear dress, all this is nonsense. It's all to get us to the point. I mean, even these, they are sterilizing. They don't want us to be able to continue as human beings. There's just certain things that people need to just start waking up to. And it is about realizing your environment. That's how your conscious becomes aware. That's how your conscious starts to control itself, is to see where it's at. Just like, a spider or an ant. Like, I've got these fucking ants still. I don't know what the hell is going on with these fucking ants. But, an ant coming up and looking around or whatever, when I can move something, like they really like honey, apparently they will do whatever they can. You screw that lid on, and I didn't even know ants can squish themselves. They will do everything they can to go through the thing. Oh God, that's disgusting. But if they became more consciously aware and, could walk into a room and look around and see, like, oh, this is this environment. There's the kitchen. Oh, there's the honey. You know what I mean? And that is what's happening for human beings right now. It's about waking up and looking around, starting to get aware of what it is that you are alive into, because that is how we transition. You have to have an awareness to transition. These people who, I don't know, and it makes me sad, and I don't want to think about it. And I'm hoping for a mass awakening to happen. I'm hoping this week, man. I really am. But there's obviously, there's going to be people who are not going to go on this, into this transition and through this tunnel into this new place. They're still going to be stuck in this three-dimensional world, and but that's what their soul is here to do. So but for those of us who want to go, who don't want to keep going through these lower vibration life cycles, you go into the ascension, you go into a higher kind of life cycle. It's not this kind of heavy, like, lives that are in third dimensional. It doesn't mean you won't ever go and do another three-dimensional one. You will have a great grandchild one day, and you will see them struggling, and you'll go, you'll zoom right over there, and you'll meet several of your other relatives, and you'll all be there together because you're going to help this kid from the other side. Or somebody's going to get born into coming back into this three-dimensional thing. The thing is when the souls come into three-dimensional and they aren't born into it, they're handicapped. They don't have the same kind of power. And all these people are so scared of ghosts and stuff. Those are all the things you create. But the souls that get born in, so people will get reborn into third dimensional, even once you've ascended and you've moved out of this heavy density. You come back in because the soul in its truest form, wants to help other souls and wants to educate and love and expand, all those things. And there is souls that do it, and they go and do dark, lives. They go in and they do the counterbalance. They want to go in and be that side. Not everybody wants to. Most of us want to be, of the light. So most people, that's where they draw their, they want to love others. People are caught up now in the bullshit, and it's making them react as these three-dimensional creatures that is not true to your real self. If you get in, and you start really finding your true self, you'll see that that's not your true self. But that's why you have to, go in and find yourself. And you have to recognize all of the structures of our world is dilapidated, but it's all completely, disintegrating. You can't hang yourself on these different paradigms, these different parameters that they've created. They're all these structures are being shown to be a controlled environment, so they're all collapsing. You have to re-identify yourself. You have to question yourself and start to learn about yourself. But that's what is all going on with the ascension. And if people want to think I'm a devil worshiper because I talk about consciousness and energy, and that you have more control and you are your judge and stuff like that, then they can see life how they want to. They can experience life how they want to. That's free will. That's our gift as a soul, that we get to experience life the way we want. That's why there's the problem right now, being controlled by these other people. Once people wake up and they see that, it changes everything. So anyways, I'll see if I can be finished with my rants for the day. So I'll post these. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.